taping now. Thank you again all for being here. I will present myself a little bit. My name is Florencia. I'm from Argentina, and I'm staff in Wikimedia Argentina affiliate. I work in the education team. I'm also part of Let's Connect working group. So I'm here like just accompanying Carlo, who is going to give the clinic today. Carlo, he's an activist and a volunteer from WikiAcción Peru. And now he will present because he can say a lot of things about himself and it's really interesting to listen. But just to present a little bit the program, I'm sure that you all maybe have been in another clinics or in one-to-one connections. But as you know, Let's Connect program, it's a proposal to connect with volunteers all over the movement. And we really love to do these connections in countries that are really far away with people that have a lot of experience, different experience in Wikimedia movement. So we can share that experience, we can share the doubts, we can share our questions and our knowledge. And the space is always open for you to do all the questions you want to do. No, we don't have good or bad questions, so it's everything to be a learning space. And you are really welcome to do all the questions you need. As I told you, I will be helping Carlos, so if you need something, you can type it in the chat, or you can like put your hand up and we will stop him for some questions or anything you need. As you know, this clinic is called Proposal Writing for Funding, and well, everyone here had some ideas before because you had to fill a form where you were asked to put some information. Carlo has read all the information, so he's on knowledge about what you have been working, and the idea of today is to work on what you have filled in the form. So it will be a really interesting proposal. So Carlo, the floor is all yours, and I'm here if you need anything.
Thanks, Florencia. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Thanks for being interested in this workshop. I'm happy to share what I know. I do many things. Yes, I make videos. I do cultural projects. I published a short story book, also a book about medicinal plants here in Peru. But also I consider myself a project designer and planner and manager. I studied a master in project planning and management in England, like 15 years ago, and or 20 years ago. And I have been doing a lot of projects and applied for funding, not only to the Wikimedia Foundation, but also to other funding programs, like from the Belgian Cooperation Agency or local institutions here in Peru, or also Ibero-American organizations that give funds to countries like Peru and Argentina and Brazil. So I have presented 5 proposals. I have written 5 proposals to the Wikimedia Foundation, and they all were accepted and funded. And the last one, we are implementing it. So I can share part of this experience on how to write a sound, a project proposal that makes sense. So I have reviewed your forms, the forms you filled in, and I wanted to know what were your ideas, so I could also think how to present this workshop, this special session. So I'm going to go over some basic concepts about project design, and also then we will look at some of your projects. Luckily, what you have presented, most of you, is what I do. I do editing workshops, content campaigns. I train people. I organize contests so more people in Peru can be part of the Wikimedia movement, edit in a way that they don't get reverted or their pages get deleted. And well, I see a lot of I feel very connected to your proposals. That's what we do here also in Peru. Try to increase people editing and improve the articles. So I will present this, but if you want to ask a question, please do it while we are presenting the ideas and the concepts. Florencia, you will help me to get the questions. And the first thing is to situate us in the context. This is a session about proposal writing for the Wikimedia Foundation. So I'm going to share what we should understand and be aware of. So what you are seeing, if you have been here before, is a Wikimedia platform, a Wikimedia project that is MetaWiki, right? And the MetaWiki is where you get all the information about the funds and how to apply to these funds. And I know that everybody here is a Wikimedian. Almost everyone is in Wikipedia, but some also in Commons, Wikidata, Wikivoyage. I read your proposals. But all of these projects, if you want to work in Wikivoyage or Wikiquote or Wikiversity, if you want to do a project about these platforms, you should apply here in the grant program that is called Wikimedia Community Fund. Yes, they fund individuals, so you can present a project proposal as an individual, as a group, as a user group, as a chapter, as a thematic group also. And these projects have to do with the Wikimedia movement objectives, with the strategies as a movement we have. Yes, to promote knowledge equity, promote free knowledge, and also reduce the knowledge gap, be more diverse in what we have in this encyclopedia, virtual encyclopedia. There are 3 areas of support. Yes, most of you are applying to this kind of activities that have to do with Wikimedia activities like editathons, like workshops, but also you can have like a more programmatic project that you can get a general support fund. And the conference and event fund is for if you want to have a conference in Western Africa, you gather all the people from Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon in one event. You can also apply with a project to this event fund. Yes. Each of these type of funds have a different amount they give. For example, you have the Rapid Fund from 500 USD to 5,000. The conference goes from 10,000 to 90,000 USD, and the general support that from 10,000 to 300,000. When I began applying to the foundation, I applied with free Rapid proposals, rapid grant proposals. I applied for 2,000 USD, and they reviewed my application and they approved them. And then the fourth time I applied with a general support fund, and it also got approved. What else about this? Well, this is a very important page. Yes, if you want, that's one of my key messages today. If you want to write a proposal, you have to do some research for yourself. You have to research this program. You have to read all this, read the guides, application guides. If you want to do editing events, go to this page. For example, here, they have recommendations on how to do a proposal. Yes. But well, not everything is being told in these pages. So with this session, we're trying to fill that gap, right? So now I'm going to share a presentation. Any questions right now? Someone has no? About the community fund?
Not in the chat at last. I don't know if anyone wants to ask a question now. Well, if you have any doubts, you can write them and we will stop Carlo and ask him.
Yeah. So what we are going to do is focus on how to do a proposal to apply to these funds I have just shown you, right? We'll go through some definitions, the idea, talk about the research, and then talk about the design process. Of course, there are more things about project management skills, project design skills, how to do a schedule, how to do a budget. But we cannot go through all this also in this 1 hour and a half we have. Can maybe we can ask right now if we can go to 1 hour and a half of session?
Yes, I put it in the chat. So just to remind, we are like going to work for 1 hour and a half. I hope everyone can stay. If anyone has some issue or problem, just let us know. But the idea is to work for 1 hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's okay for everyone?
Perfect. Gracias, Florencia. So let's start. A proposal has to do with a project. So I'm going to define what is a project. A project is a flexible and dynamic set of resources organized into activities to achieve certain objectives, certain outcomes in a restricted period of time. These resources are time. Yes, we need time. Time is a resource, money, people, information, spaces, educational materials, tools, pencils, like and equipment like cameras. So we need to organize activities that need these resources in a period of time and sequence these activities. Which activities we do first and which do we do at last? Yes.
Carlo, just to give you a question here, Michael asked, is the information to be shared applicable to all grant proposals? You are on mute, sorry.
So if this session can be applied to all proposals, yes. Yes, you can. This type of definition applies for every kind of project. You can do you can do a agricultural project, you can do a development project, a cultural project, a museum, writing contest, a Wikimedia project with this definition. Yes. So we are going to do these basic concepts about proposal writing, and then we go into specifics of Wikimedia activities. So this is, for me, this is very important because this can apply to everything. For if you want to marry, organize a marriage, a wedding, here. You want to, how to do, what do you do first? The contract the musicians, or send invitations? I don't know. So you can use these skills for every type of project. Now, so we asked you to fill in the form with, and one of the important questions was what project idea you have. Yes, and this is key. Every project starts, every great endeavor, it starts with an idea. If you want to climb a mountain, create a business, create a Wikimedia educational program in this university, you have to start with an idea. So in this session, we'll perfect our idea. We'll develop our idea. And this idea needs research. Yes, we need to research what has been done before us, what is being done about it in other Wikimedia chapters. We must learn the best practices in this type of projects we are trying to do. Yes, if someone wants to do a campaign to create articles about educational institutions in Zimbabwe, well, who else did this in his own country? If someone did this in Congo, well, let's check it out. Yes, so we have to do research about our project, about the fund, about the people we need, the resources we need. Yes, if we want to communicate and have a communication strategy, which social media platforms we're going to choose, which is best: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Which one is the best one for the project we're doing? So that's very important research. And the research goes all over the project cycle. You do research in this phase, in the funding, implementation, evaluation. Research is all the time. Then we start, when we have finished initial research, we start designing objectives, activities, budget, schedule, alliances, plans. So the idea, I saw many of some application forms, some of the forms you filled up were very nice, but some still lacked the definition of what you want to do. Yes, so now I'm going to tell you how to have an idea and narrow it down. Yes, because we can have many ideas, we can do many things, but okay, let's choose one idea and see how we can do this. So the idea, the what you want to tell someone else or a fund what you are doing has to answer these questions: what you want to do, why you want to do it, where, who, with whom. Yes, with whom, if you have allies, how long? Is this 2 months? Is this 1 year? Is this 3 years? And when? Maybe it's 3 years, but it starts in 2025. Yes, so we must, this is very, very important. For example, what you want to do. All these are Wikimedia activities that you can do: editing events, writing contests, photo contests that include workshops, right? If you run a photo contest, for example, we organized a photo contest here in Peru about plants, and we did a workshop about plant photography, how to take pictures of plants. In Argentina, they organized some seminars about how to take pictures of a bird, of an insect, of a frog, and it has different skills. You need for example, if you want to photograph a butterfly, you have to have a different approach to photographing a rabbit, right? So, content campaigns. For example, I participated on May in the Wiki for Human Rights campaign. We tried to create and improve contents about climate change and the right to have a healthy, sustainable, and clean environment. That's a human right now. A GLAM project is also something that you can do, a project that liberates images or archives of documents or sound files or video files from a library, from a gallery, a library, an archive, or a museum. That's GLAM. And also, the last one here is educational projects. But also, here are more. What else you can do? Develop a training course. You can develop a training course and implement it for teachers in this city in your own country. Also, you can create teaching resources. You can create a manual, a booklet, a video tutorial. Here in Peru, this first year, with the Rapid Grant, we created tutorials, video tutorials, to how to make an article about an archaeological site, how to create an article about a mountain, how to create an article about a plant, a medicinal plant. So we did these tutorials of 5 minutes. You can watch them in our channel. So this is our teaching resources. Organize a photo walk, organize a conference. In Brazil, like on June, they had a Wikicon Brazil. They had it's a big country, Brazil. So they gathered all the Wikimedians of Brazil in a single event, I think in Sao Paulo it was. Also, you can implement a Wikimedian in residence program, education projects, again, I mentioned it again, and also provide technical support. Yes, we have, in the Wikimedia movement, we have software, open source software that can be used in schools so they can access Wikimedia in a more efficient way. I'm not an expert in the technical support. I'm about projects and also anthropology because I studied anthropology, but the technical support is something that also people apply to. Yes, if you want to develop an application, a template, I don't know. No
Sorry,
questions?
Carlo. Yes, I interrupt you because we have two questions that I think that are really interesting to answer now. First, Kara Faith, I'm so sorry if I'm not saying right the names. Please correct me if they are not right. She asks, I propose a mental health initiative in Uganda. Is it valid enough for a project? Yes.
Yeah, I saw that project in Uganda about the mental health. That was presented like yesterday. I haven't reviewed it, so I have not go into the project, but maybe when we finish this basic stuff, we go into the projects. I want to finish in 10 minutes, and then we go to the practical stuff of your own projects. Yes.
Great. I have another question for Miracle, just for you to know, then if we have to answer then afterwards, don't worry, but it's, does approving a project requires a certain level of expertise? If it yes, how experienced should a Wikipedia editor be for the project to be approved?
That's a good question. Let's look at the page. Who the question was how experienced can you be to apply for a project, right?
Right.
So who can apply? Individuals. If we go to the details, I don't know if we can. Eligibility. Well, I cannot see it right now, but what I understand is that if you have experience in Wikimedia, like the basic 500 edits or 6 months of experience, you can apply. If they also, the people that evaluate also check if you have been blocked in your Wikimedia platform language. How is your Wikimedia background? They check that. So if you're not a Wikimedian, you cannot apply. Yes, and I think it's if you are almost at least 6 months of old, if your account is at least 6 months old and you have more than 500 contributions, you can apply. But you must demonstrate that your project is sound and that you have experience. So I think that it depends. If they see in your background that you are prepared, you have experience and knowledge, and you have done it before, you have more chances to be approved.
Carlo,
Yes.
Jessica here is saying that maybe she can help with this answer. Jessica, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Just very, very briefly. The idea is that anybody can apply, as Carlos said, obviously with a good project, a clear proposal of what you want to do, why you want to do that, and to show experience to be able to develop that proposal. And it doesn't necessarily mean editing experience. If you've shown experience as an organizer, organizing events, being involved in the community, that's also valid. It's great to have work with people who do have experience editing the projects that you want to develop. They have technical experience. And usually for newcomers, the Rapid Fund is a good option because the Rapid Fund is a smaller amount of funds that allows you to experiment. Maybe you want to try an event or a new approach and do like a pilot of your project. And then after that experience, as Carlo was explaining, you can go on to the community fund, the general support fund that has a few more options in terms of bigger funding, more long-term funding. The important thing also is to work with the user groups that are in your community. So really look for people who are already developing projects. You can apply as an individual or a group, but try to find out who else is doing things in your country or in your community that you can learn and be part of the projects that they're already developing. And Carlo mentioned that as well. So working as a community is very important too. Thanks, Carlo.
Thanks, Jessica. Yes. And of course, if you want to do a project in Wikipedia and you don't have experience, part of your research is to edit. If you want to do a project in Commons, try uploading a picture. If you want to do something in Wikivoyage, explore the platform, make some edits, get around and know what you are doing, so your project will be more sound, will be stronger. Yes. Yes. If you want to do a tutorial about how to fry an egg, at least fry an egg, right? So let's go. Why do you want to do it? But this is very important, right? What are the reasons for you to start this project? Okay, why do you want to do it? Recruit new Wikimedians? Perfect. Create and improve specific contents in a Wikimedia project. For example, reduce gender gap in Wikipedia in Hausa. Okay, if there is Wikipedia in Hausa, I don't know. I listen in incubator. Build healthy and sustainable Wikimedia communities. Transfer Wikimedia related skills. How to write a good article, how to upload a featured or quality image. Visibilize the Wikimedia movement in a territory. Yes, we're doing this right now in Peru. In the project I am part of, we're trying to visibilize Wikimedia and the projects like Wikipedia to more people. So why do you want to do it? So please, if you are if you have an idea, try to write down why do you want to do it. Yes, use these ideas I am citing, I'm presenting you to narrow down your project, right? I'm doing this for that reason, for you to narrow down and be more specific. So where do you want to do it? It's important to the idea that has a territory. Maybe you want to do it in a region like Western Africa, or in a specific country or a territory that maybe it's political or linguistic territory, a city, a town, a village, in an institution, maybe a museum. You want to do this, but we need to know where exactly, right? A natural protected area, if it's a photo walk. Your idea should establish where do you want to do this and who is going to do it. Yes, who will be in charge? If it's a Wikimedia user group, if it's a Wikimedia chapter, if it's a Wikimedia thematic organization, if you're an individual or a group, collective, or maybe an external organization. There is a alliances fund that external organizations to Wikimedia can apply to. Also, you're in charge, but with who you want to work with, who is your target audience, who is your public, the people you want to train, the people you want to reach, who are they? So you must establish this. Maybe it's Wikimedians, veteran or new, or potential Wikimedians, teachers, a local community, public institutions, thematic NGOs. Maybe you want to work promoting Wikimedia contents, Wikipedia contents about climate change, and you want to have allies from the NGO sector, environmental NGOs, human rights NGOs, migration NGOs. Also librarians and libraries and external organizations can be also your, well, all can be external, right? And also, do you have external allies? Maybe when we started in Peru with the rapid fund of 2000 US that I applied to and we were approved, we did the workshops and the editathon in a university that had a computer laboratory. We have a lot of computers and we had the students. So our third target audience were the students. The ally was the university. The objective was to create articles about medicinal plants, mountains, and lakes in this territory. So who are you working with? Who will help you? Who will contribute to your objectives, to what you want to bring to your community? Local governments, the foundation, a private company, Once we did a photo contest, and I asked a private company that is specialized in green technologies to donate a solar panel charger. So we received this from a private company to do our project here in Peru. Also, your idea must be, you must establish how long do you want to do it. If it's a number of days, number of weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks, number of months. It is best, my recommendation is that you start slow and small, yes. We started in Peru, the projects I first organized were of 2,000 US, and then it was too much. We didn't spend 500 US the first time. So this 500 US was then sent to the second project. And then we were learning, yes. We applied for too much money. We needed only 1,500 US, and we applied for 2,000. They gave us 2,000, but then these 500 US, we used it for the next project. But start small, and then with experience, you start doing larger things with a larger budget, with a larger impact, with larger audiences. So now, 5 years ago, I started with a project for 2 months in Peru. Now we're doing it all year round. All the months of the year, we have activities. Yes, start small. That's a very good way to start doing things. And your projects, the ones I have seen, are small, so go for them. Go develop the idea and apply. And by applying, you will learn. You will learn, because proposal writing, how can you get good proposals? By writing them, yes. The more you write proposals, the more, the better you get at it. What else? When do you want to do it? Be specific. From November 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2023. All the projects that you want to, Wikimedia Foundation wants this, the first one. They want a date with a month and a year, yes. Some projects have, if you apply to Rapid Fund, you have less time to do it than if you apply to an annual program grant. But when do you want to do it is also very important, right? Also, if you want to register local festivities or commemorations, the independence of Nigeria, festivities in Abuja, so you can do a photo walk that date, right? To do a photographic walk. So be specific on how you, on when do you want to do your project. And also, which is your thematic Wikimedia focus? Yes, that will help people that will be evaluating your project if it has to do with education, advocacy, human rights, public policy, climate change and sustainability, cultural heritage, or GLAM, open technology too. We'll share all these at the end, right? This presentation. So let's go to the design, the research. Research. Where do you want, where can you do research? Okay, Wikimedia projects, of course, but also you can read, if you are doing something about human rights, you should look to these topics: research, magazines, books, the internet, museums, newspapers, exhibitions. Yes, when we do research, I don't focus only on books. I talk to people and I go to photographic exhibitions. I walk in the mountains. You can meditate too, right? A field trip, newspapers, music. Sometimes music helps a lot to give you context. Consulting specialists, good practices, the best practices about your type of project, and go into these sciences, right? Anthropology, psychology. If you are writing about a language, articles about a language, the rights to a language, to use your language. you should go into linguistics and law, and so on. So what are the outcomes? What do you expect of your project? This is also very important. The Wikimedia Foundation wants to know what is the change that you are trying to bring with your project. So this corresponds to the results. Yes, by doing the project, I get this. I have a start context. Yes, in this context, in my city, in my country, we have culture A, norms, values, behaviors, skills. Yes, then we come with a project proposal that has objectives, strategies, activities. We implement it, and then we have an end context with a culture changed. Yes, by doing the project proposal, we change the situation. And the idea is that if the end context is better in terms of social and cultural capital than the start context, then we have achieved a positive impact. Yes, this is a very basic way to present you what is an outcome. Yes, because we want to have a positive impact in Wikimedia, in the Wikimedia movement, in a Wikimedia project like Wikipedia. What we did has improved Wikipedia in English, or Wikipedia in Portuguese, or Wikidata, or Wikimedia Commons, you choose. So the outcomes, for example, in the project we presented the last time in Peru, is to expand the Wikimedia movement in Peru with a focus on ecology, gender, and culture. This is the summary. Then we have a strategy. How do we achieve this? We achieve this by articulating with people, organizations, and projects linked to this ecology, gender, and culture, not only in Lima, but also under the values of the Wikimedia movement. The Wikimedia movement have values like transparency, and ethics. And then when we have an outcome and how to do it, the strategy, then we have activities. This is the logic that is asked by the Wikimedia Foundation in this project request for proposal they have. For example, in the project we presented, our first activity was to map activists in culture, ecology, and gender, individuals, groups, and organizations in 4 regions in Peru. Implementation of Wikimedia activities around our 3 main topics in 5 cities of the country, and develop a 4-week virtual workshop on the design and implementation of walks and photographic expeditions on culture. Right now we're doing this activity. So this is an example. The idea is that today you can understand this logic, have a clear idea of what you want to do, identify the outcomes, and have strategies and activities. This is our target today, right? We can do in another session about, we can talk about the budget and the schedule. The budget will be what you need, the resources you need in order to implement the activities. If you want to do a workshop, what do you need? You need a person that has to give the workshop. You need maybe a Zoom platform account. Maybe you have to promote, create a design, a digital design to promote the event, pay publicity in Facebook or another platform, send emails. So you start identifying resources and connect them to your activities, and then a budget develops. But okay, now we have questions so far before going into your own projects.
There was a lot of conversation in the chat. Alice shared a sheet where they were working in Uganda. If anyone needed to see, it's really interesting to know what they have been done there. And then there were some questions of René, but Jessica was answering between the difference of funding for Wikimedians and funding for external people that want to work with Wikimedia projects. But there wasn't any other question. I don't know if anyone wants to ask something now. If not, we can continue, Carlo.
Yeah. So every one of you has presented an idea. Yes, we're going to share the ideas to all the groups. That's the philosophy of Wikimedia, right? If you present a proposal to Meta, on Meta, everyone can see it. Yes. For example, I will share again the screen. We go to Meta. For example, in Wikimedia Community Fund, you can see the programs, Middle East and Africa. This is the region of Middle East and Africa. Veronica Taimani is the senior program officer. And then we can see more information. For example, we see here some projects, general support funds. This is in a draft. This is under review. And this is in Guinea, Rwanda. And they have presented this and approved and funded. You have all this. So this person or this affiliate has written a proposal. So you can also do that. You can research what has been done in other countries and learn from their proposals. Look at the best practices. Maybe your ideas are great, but maybe if you look into other people's ideas, you can strengthen your own proposal because maybe you didn't see something that they saw, right? So this is a very important part of the project design part. Do some research, look into these projects of being presented in Africa or Asia or Latin America. But let's continue to your projects. There were, I will show you the questions we had. Everybody wrote it, answered this form. The first one was the idea. Describe the proposal you would like to develop in this workshop, right? The thematic focus. The relevance, why the changes described are important. Wikimedia Foundation asks you these questions. For example, if we go to the Wikimedia Community Fund, we go to the forms. This is going okay, Florencia, with the images, the screens, yeah? Okay.
Yes, I'm seeing perfectly.
Yeah. General Support Fund application forms, English. So there are a lot of information you have to fill. It's very straightforward. Full name of the individual, contact email. I will not go through this. I will go to this, to the proposal. Yes, if you are part of a Wikimedia user group or thematic group or chapter, this will be very easy. Yes. if you are an individual, well, you have to answer not in terms of an organization, but as an individual or collective. How what you are presenting connects to your past work and learning. So this question is about your experience and on your vision. And then, what is the change you're trying to bring about with your idea? So if we go to the form, we are asking this: what changes do you want to present, and why these changes are important? And the strategies, how you will reach these outcomes, and the activities. So we asked you all this. I have summarized some of your proposals. I think Miracle was asked the question, right? About, yeah. Miracle presented, she's from Abuja, she's in Abuja, and her idea was to enhance the presence of the Nigerian government or private secondary and primary schools. See? Put the Nigerian government and information about secondary, primary, and schools on Wikidata and Wikipedia, as there are little or no information about these public educational facilities on the Wikipedia platform. Indicating the location of the facility, services offered, and important persons who are involved in the administration of the educational activities in the school. So this is a project that has to do with creating content about a specific topic. Yes, you can do this. If we know Wikipedia, one question is, are these relevant enough? Of course, all the entities of the main entities of a government all are relevant. You can create the page of a ministry, of a business ministry, and the people in charge of these ministries. At least this is in Wikipedia in Spanish. I think in Wikipedia in English is the same. All public members of these high-rank institutions are relevant. The secondary and primary schools, not all are relevant in the Wikipedia in Spanish. They are relevant, for example, if they have a lot of years, they are very old, they have a story, something important happened there. Not all secondary and primary schools, but in Wikidata, yes, in Wikidata they should be, right? So this is a good idea. So relevance. It is impossible to add the information for all public figures who attended these educational facilities in Nigeria, as this is very important information that cannot be excluded. It is also impossible to locate these facilities using Wikipedia. Okay. It is relevant. We must identify which of these institutions and people were part of. So that's, for example, something that we did. You can do. You have in these activities. You should have a mapping of this. How many ministries or parts of the government dedicated to education are in Wikipedia and which are not. Yes, you must know how to. You must know which is the gap. What is there and what is not there. The impact and presence of most of these facilities date as far back as 30 years. or even more, and have succeeded in producing a lot of admirable and successful individuals who represent their alma mater in different parts of the country and the world at large, but the relevance of these educational facilities goes unnoticed, as there is no information about the school or the administrators of the school. So in this mapping, if you are going to map all the institutions that they have or not have pages, you must also prioritize which are the most relevant and which are the less relevant, and you start working on your project in the most relevant. Outcomes. Creating and improving articles about these facilities will expose the impact of the schools and to the world, and also indicate the location and history of these educational facilities. The value will be added to the articles of notable individuals who are products of the school and individuals who have played a major role in the administration of the school and has contributed to the development of education in Nigeria. You have two strategies: recruiting volunteers who would create and improve already existing articles, and workshops. So, I like your project. It's you did the task, right? Not everybody did the task. Yes, some just filled one line or some words, but our friend Miracle did this. So, for example, this strategy is good, but how do you do it? How do you do it exactly is the activities. How you recruit volunteers, how you will do it? You have to do something. You have to maybe have like a presentation, run a campaign, so you can recruit editors, create workshops, because these two are aligned. Yes, you have to do workshops and training and recruit. So you must have like an activity that is communication, developing, designing, and implementing your communicational strategy in order to visibilize this content creation campaign. Miracle, do you have questions about this? She had a question before, right? Have I answered?
Yes, let me look for it in the chat. Just a moment. She asked about the level of expertise you need to be approved. I think that we have already answered that.
Yeah. So someone else wants
now
to...
she says...
See, no?
No, she says she doesn't have any questions for now.
Yeah.
There was a question of Deborah that said, is it allowed to do or repeat a project that has already been done?
Depends. From my point of view, for example, last year we did a photographic campaign in a valley here in the mountain range next to me, and we did it in one valley for 6 days. But now we're doing the same project of photographing plants and insects, but in another valley that is at another level. So it's the same project, but in another place, because it's another ecosystem. So you can also do it. If it's a workshop in a school, you can do the same project, but in a different school. And if you have this type of projects, maybe you should have a program, right? A 1-year program, but start with something small, like doing it in one type of project and small the first time. Yes, someone has the hand raised.
I'm not seeing any hands raised.
It was me. But Carlo has have answered the question the way I want to tell. So it's possible to put to do or to manage a program done in another country and take it and duplicate it in another country. It's the one I consider this it's like a vision. It's a good thing for me, I think. Thank you.
Yes. What I will do is to adapt it, right? Adapt the project to your own reality, because sometimes it's different. You must, for example, alliances. You need alliances, and you cannot duplicate alliances in the first project to the second project,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Of course. It's what I said on chat, that you can adapt it on your own. You can adapt it. Yeah, you can replicate and adapt. Yeah.
Yeah, even there is a if we see in Meta, Let's Connect. Let's Connect has like a page where you can, I don't know if it's here. Maybe Stephanie, no, Jessica is still here. There is a form that it's almost like your project is already designed, but you only have to fill some certain elements in your project. So the Wikimedia Foundation have like templates for projects, right, Jessica?
Yes, I'll link it in the chat.
Please. So yes, we learn from each other. We're a community. We're a global movement. We are the most the largest community of people. So we must ally and learn from others, right? But do it with the right criteria, right? In Peru, sometimes in the public government, they just copy one project and present it in another municipality, and they sometimes don't change the location, right? So be sound on what you are doing, and check the realities. Not all cultures. Every culture, every community has a different history, and maybe you should have like different activities that take into account these different histories, right? It's not the same, I don't know, Rwanda than Nigeria, right? I know that in Nigeria they don't speak French, or at least it's not an official language. In Rwanda, it's a very important language. Also in Mozambique, right? And the history of Congo is very different to the history of Burkina Faso. So check it out. Maybe if you want to do a Wikimedia, reduce the music gap about Mali music in Wikipedia in English. I know Mali has a lot of good music, right? So you cannot apply this to maybe, well, Ethiopia has also a lot of good music. Maybe Morocco, right? Depends, right? Depends on where you are. Check what your culture is and design a project in those terms. Someone wants to check their own project, wants to review his own project.
Carlo, here, Kara Faith said that the proposal of mental health, she wanted to talk about that, so maybe we can go ahead with that.
Yeah. So let's go to the mental health program. I am in this faith, right? So the idea is mental health has to do with human rights, the changes. I'm just passing some contents to this relevance. The changes are important. So this is a lab. We're going to review your project and try to strengthen it. Activities. Okay. So now, your idea was this, your mental health initiative. So first, if someone asks you, what is your project idea? Mental health initiative is not enough. You have to give more context, right? Remember the questions: why, what, when, how, with whom, who, etc. So try to answer these questions based on what we have talked today. Yes, describe your idea. It's very important to have a clear idea, because then it will be much more easier with all the other sections. Outcome. This is very general, right? Mental health initiative is so broad, right? There are psychosis, neurosis, stress, post-traumatic stress disorder, a lot of mental health issues inside this. The changes I want to see are a better, healthier group of youth, not stigmatized by asking for help. Yeah. So I'm reading this, and I am not relating this to the Wikimedia movement, right? Because also this is not so well defined. Yes. Maybe, for example, you can put my proposal is about creating and improving contents about mental health in Wikipedia in say English. For example, clinics, therapies, books, biographies, films. All this talks about mental health. So I want to do this in Wikipedia English, and this in Ghana, no, in Uganda, in March 2023, in the University of Uganda. So this is more specific, right? So maybe as you talk about group youth, maybe you address this youth mental health. All has to do with youth mental health. So by improving this, people with a Wikimedia project, you cannot reach this outcome. You cannot change it. What you can do is provide reduce the access to quality information about mental health, youth mental health in Uganda, right? This is my outcome. Now, by implementing my project idea, I will have a more quality, increase the access. Increase the access. By implementing my project proposal, I will increase the access to quality information about youth mental health in Uganda. Relevance. The changes above are important in a way that help create drive entrepreneurs to save spaces in the longer run, avoid suicidal attempts. Yes. This is okay, but it can be better. So Okay, strategies. Create awareness. Okay. One strategy is to implement Wikimedia activities in Uganda. And beyond, because if you are doing it in English, you can also get help from other people, like editathons, photo contests, like workshops. For example, you can do a workshops for psychologists in this university, so, or students of psychology, so they can, because they are the best ones to talk about it. Yes, so here you can identify your target audience with students from psychology in universities. Yes, this is one strategy. Also, create awareness of Wikipedia as a source of reliable and referenced information about youth mental health, which your activities are talks, seminars. So this will be here, right? So here I am already identifying the activities, right? Another strategy is to create alliances, develop alliances with associations of psychologists or faculties about psychology, etc. And then the activities will come straight forward, right? Is that helped? Do you see that I have an outcome? I want to increase the quality of information about youth mental health in Uganda through Wikipedia. By doing this, I will more people will have information, and they will know that there is opportunities to make a phone call somewhere to this hospital that is or this legislation or center of assistance that has a web page as an article in Wikipedia in English. We have these strategies, and then we have the activities that will be the ones that I am putting in italics. Some activities for the alliances will be map main actors. You can do a stakeholder analysis. Maybe you know about that. A stakeholder analysis. Who are the important actors in this topic? And then communicate with them, train them, present what is Wikipedia, right? Okay, someone is okay? Someone has questions, wants to check his own project?
We don't have questions in the chat, but I don't know if maybe someone wants to talk about their own project.
No,
For please me. It's
Yes,
okay.
go ahead.
Yeah, can I? Okay. I have a museum project that we need to implement many years ago in our country's Cameroon. But I don't, with as I said, with a research film. So because I saw this program and the answer here, I think that I can reach this research film to put in place or implement this project or facilitate the grant. So I don't know if there is some person available where we can discuss, or I don't know, on how to manage.
So, Brescia?
No, maybe the question has to do with what we were talking in the chat. Rene, as I told you by text, this program, Let's Connect, is in this case about presenting proposals, but we work with all topics that are interesting for participants. So we don't work only with founding of proposals, but I think maybe Jessica can reach us and can reach you with someone that can guide you if you are interested in presenting a proposal, because there are a lot of teams inside the foundation that work with that particularly. But here we are only exchanging ideas between peers, as Carlo is really an expert in presenting funds, but we are not like the team that works on that. Jessica, go ahead if you want.
Yeah, thanks for that, Florencia. Yes, Renee, we can connect. I work with the foundation directly with the community resources team, and we support applicants to these funds, to the different types of funds. So if you like, we can connect via email and we can have a session to talk about some of your ideas and some of the partners that you mentioned in research, and guide you through how to apply. As Florencia mentioned, this is more of a space between Wikimedians, as Carlo is also a Wikimedian who is sharing his experience. And this is very valuable because it will give you insights into some of the challenges and issues they faced as Wikimedians. But if you would like us to support you directly as the foundation, then we can connect and we can talk through your application or the idea that you have. So thanks a lot for all your questions and your participation. About the mental health project, I just wanted to reference in Wikimania, there was a really interesting panel about mental health articles on Wikipedia. So I'm going to try to find it and reference it here, because I think that's a really interesting an important issue to discuss. And as Carlo mentioned, the projects to get funding from the Wikimedia Foundation have to be Wikimedia related. They have to have some contribution to Wikimedia projects. Obviously, if you want to write a proposal for other funding, for government funding or for other NGOs or institutions, everything that Carlo is mentioning is very useful for any grant project. But if it's for the Wikimedia funds, they do need to be related to how are you going to contribute to Wikimedia projects directly.
Thank you, Jessica. That was really clear. I don't know if anyone else have a question or want to ask something.
Excuse me, because if I'm asking or if I participate a lot, I have some question. Jessica, can we connect with the research team to work on this project? And then if there is a fund, how to manage it? Ah, okay, I receive your mail address. Thank you, thank you.
Thank to you, Rene. There is not a lot of participation. It's really interesting, all the questions you have done. Go ahead, Carlo.
Yes, my username, maybe, Francia, can you put my Let's Connect page in the link?
Yes, sure. Just give me a minute.
Yes, I am in the Let's Connect program too, and if you want to have us one-on-one session with me, I can help you with your project proposal. Yes, we can meet. September and August I'm very busy, but maybe on October onwards I will have time for 1 hour and talk about your project and try to improve it. Yes, I know about cultural things, environmental things. That's my area of interest. Yes, if you want to do something about climate change, something about in rituals or dances, I'm interested also in helping you more, right? But feel free to write me and we can program a session too. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Carlo. I the link where they can have your contact.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we're already 1 hour and a half. I don't know if anyone wants to say anything else, or Carlo, you want to continue?
Well, just to summarize, I shared the presentation. It's very important to have an idea and then with your idea, start developing your idea. Yes, try to answer this question: what, why, when, how, with whom, who, which are my target audiences. And all this with the examples I gave you, yes, because we're in the Wikimedia context. And then research, yes, check other projects, talk to people. If you see in Wikimedia someone that is talking about you want to work with about the topic, write him, yes, write her, yes. And also research outside, not only videos in the Wikimedia, in the Wikisphere, but also outside the Wikisphere. Also, once you have your idea and have done some research, then you can do these outcomes, strategies, and activities. Yes, it's a logical sequence. What you want to do, the results, then the strategies, how you achieve these results, and then the activities that you need to reach to accomplish each of the strategies. Yes, everything has to have a coherence, a logic. Yes, that's the main advice right now. Maybe in another session we can do a budget or a schedule, but we have to start with this. We cannot start with the budget or the schedule or how to look for funds. We have to have an idea and develop the idea. You start with that. And you can apply this process to all type of projects, not only Wikimedia projects. That's my main and my final recommendation.
Thank you, Carlo. It was really interesting. I've learned a lot. I was listening and really all what you said, it's really helpful. Although we are new or we are not new in the Wikimedia community, it was really, really interesting. We thank you all for being here. As we said, we are going to send the recording and all the links that we have shared before, the contact to Carlo, the presentation, and any other issues you will need, surely tomorrow. So we stay in touch, and sure, this would be one of the first meetings and clinics about this topic. So anything you need, you can always contact us to the Let's Connect working group email, and also in the Let's Connect meta page, there are all our contacts. So anything you need, we are here. Thank you for all the resources, Jessica, you are sending. So if anyone wants to say something, it's now, or if not, we just say goodbye. Okay, well, thank you everyone for being here. And thank you really, Carlo, again, for all the wonderful presentation and all the information you said.
There's not many person who speak. Okay, thank you, bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, Florencia. Thank everyone. Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Hey.
Thank you.